Have you ever felt like your car is haunted? The radio suddenly changes stations, the lights flicker for no reason, or maybe one day it just refuses to start, leaving you completely stranded. You might blame the battery, the alternator, or some expensive computer module. But what if I told you the culprit could be something much simpler, much cheaper, and hiding in plain sight? This right here, the ground connection. Today on Fix and Cruise, we're diving deep into the 5 critical symptoms of a bad ground that you should never overlook. Understanding these signs can save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars in unnecessary repairs and a whole lot of headaches. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more car maintenance tips. Now, let's jump right in. What is a ground? Okay, before we get to the symptoms, let's have a quick 30-second crash course. Think of your car's electrical system like plumbing. The battery is the water pump, pushing power, or water, out through wires to all your components, your lights, your radio, your engine sensors. But for that system to work, the water needs a path to return to the pump to be recirculated. That return path is the ground. Instead of running a second wire back from every single component, car manufacturers use the car's metal frame, the chassis, as a massive common return path. A bad ground is like a clogged drain. The electricity can't get back to the battery easily. And when that happens, it gets desperate and starts causing all sorts of chaos. That chaos shows up as our first critical symptom. Number 1. Electrical gremlins. This is the haunted car symptom. You do one thing and something completely unrelated happens. For example, you turn on your headlights and your radio turns off. Or you hit the switch for your power windows and your dashboard lights flicker wildly. Maybe you turn on your wipers and the turn signal starts blinking. It sounds crazy, but there's a simple reason for it. Electricity is lazy. It always wants to find the easiest path back to the battery. When its main ground path is blocked, high resistance, it starts looking for an alternate route. So, the electricity from your wipers might decide the easiest way home is to travel through the turn signal circuit, causing it to activate. This is called backfeeding, and it's a classic sign that a primary ground point is loose, corroded, or broken. If your car is acting possessed, check your grounds first. Number 2. Starting issues. This is one of the most common and misdiagnosed symptoms. It usually shows up in one of 3 ways. First, the no crank, no start. You turn the key and nothing. Maybe a single loud click, but the engine doesn't turn over at all. Your starter motor needs a massive amount of electrical current to crank the engine, and it relies on a very heavy-duty ground connection, usually a thick strap from the engine block to the chassis. If that ground is bad, the starter is starved of power and can't do its job. Second, the slow or weak crank. The engine turns over, but it sounds lazy and sluggish, like the battery is about to die. Imitates slow cranking sound. Rrr, rrr, rrr. Many people immediately replace the battery, only to have the same problem a week later. A high-resistance ground connection can mimic a weak battery perfectly because it restricts the flow of power to the starter. And third, a bit less common but very frustrating, is the crank, no start. The engine cranks over at a normal speed, but it never fires up. This can happen if the bad ground is affecting other critical systems, like the ground for your fuel pump or your ignition control module. The starter has its power, but the components needed for fuel and spark don't. Number 3. Dim or flickering lights. Have you ever noticed that your headlights seem to get significantly brighter when you rev the engine, only to dim noticeably when the engine is idling? Or perhaps you've seen your interior dome light flicker erratically, reminiscent of a candle in the wind. These phenomena are strong indicators of an electrical issue within your vehicle. Car lights, including headlights, tail lights, and interior lights, are highly sensitive to the voltage supplied to them. A faulty ground connection in the electrical system can create unwanted resistance. In electronic systems, resistance results in a voltage drop. Consequently, instead of receiving a consistent 12 volts, your headlights may only get between 10 and 11 volts, causing them to appear dimmer than they should. The flickering of the lights can be attributed to the instability of this faulty connection. As the engine vibrates during operation and various components shift, the quality of the ground connection can fluctuate momentarily. This means that the voltage can spike or drop suddenly, resulting in the lights flickering on and off. This issue can affect not only your headlights and taillights, but also your dashboard lights, leading to a potentially hazardous situation while driving at night or in low-light conditions. Identifying and rectifying this ground issue is crucial for ensuring the proper functioning of your vehicle's lighting system and overall safety. Number 4. The battery that keeps dying. This one is a real wallet drainer. You find your battery dead. You get a jump start, and it works for a day or two, then it's dead again. You assume the battery is bad, so you buy a new one. A month later, that one is dead. Frustrated, you figure it must be the alternator not charging, so you replace that. And yet, the problem persists. Before you replace another part, listen closely. Your alternator's job is to produce power and recharge the battery. But just like everything else, that charging circuit needs a complete path. The alternator is bolted to the engine, and it uses that as its ground. If the ground strap from your engine to the chassis is bad, or the main ground from the battery to the chassis is bad, the alternator can't effectively push its charge back into the battery. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. The power is being made, but it's not getting where it needs to go. Number 5. Malfunctioning sensors and check engine light. Our final symptom is the one that sends mechanics on a wild goose chase. A sudden check engine light. You scan the codes, and it points to a faulty oxygen sensor, or a mass airflow sensor, or a throttle position sensor. Here's the secret. Most engine sensors operate on a very precise, low-voltage signal, often a 5-volt reference sent from the car's computer, or ECM. The ECM determines the engine's condition by reading how that voltage changes. But for that reading to be accurate, the sensor needs a perfect, stable ground. If the sensor's ground is bad, the ECM gets a skewed, erratic, or nonsensical signal. It thinks the sensor has failed, so it turns on the check engine light and logs a fault code for that part. You could then spend $150 on a new O2 sensor, install it, and have the exact same problem, because the real issue was a $5 ground wire that was rusty or loose. So there you have it. Electrical gremlins, starting issues, flickering lights, a constantly dying battery, and phantom sensor failures. 5 critical signs that your car's most fundamental electrical component, the ground, needs your attention. The good news? It's often an easy fix. Start with a visual inspection. Pop your hood and look for the main ground straps. One from the negative battery terminal to the body of the car, and another from the engine block to the chassis. Check if they're tight, clean, and free of corrosion or fraying. Sometimes, just cleaning and tightening these connections is all it takes to solve a world of problems. So, before you start throwing expensive parts at a problem, take a moment to check the basics. The humble ground wire is the foundation of your car's electrical health. If you found this video helpful and it saved you some cash, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Fix and Cruise and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next project. Have you ever had a problem that turned out to be a bad ground? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to read it. Thanks for watching. Keep on wrenching, and we'll see you on the next one.